Hello friends, this is our fifth lecture on parents and children. We have seen so far pleasures and griefs of parents and how childless people, they make great contribution to the human race. The third point that we saw, that too much love lavished on children by those people who are the first raisers of families. First raisers of their families means who start their life independently as a nuclear family. And the fourth point we saw, errors of parents. And fifth point also is what we say, errors of parents. So errors of parents you will find into fourth point as well as in fifth point. Now what happens is here, this is mainly about comparison. Understand? Don't compare and contrast. You can compare and contrast, say when you write your PhD thesis, a comparison, compare and contrast the poetry of or the novels of, we can say, Charles Dickens. You can compare and contrast the novels of Charles Dickens with Munshi Premchand. That can be done. But don't compare and contrast your children, say, within the family or even outside the family. That will be a terrible shock. And as I have already told you, that this is an insult to that person. So men have a foolish manner. Underline, foolish. Men have a foolish manner. Both parents, schoolmasters and servants. Here he speaks only about men, not women, not mothers. So men have a foolish manner, because mothers, I think they won't do this. Because for them, everybody is equal. So men have a foolish manner, both parents, schoolmasters and servants, in creating and breeding an emulation between brothers during childhood. Creating and breeding an emulation means a comparing. Breeding means producing. Creating means making. It's the same. The emphasis is there. Creating and breeding means producing or making. And an emulation means a comparison between brothers during childhood. Do you remember the story of Joseph in the Old Testament? So Joseph was too much loved by, and also Jacob used to compare him with other brothers. And so ultimately what happened, you know? They sold him. See that? They sold him. They did not want him in that company. And of course, afterwards what happened, etc., you know. And so here, emulation between brothers during childhood, which many times sort of discord. Discord means quarrel. Discord, quarrel. Creates quarrel. Make chance for quarrel when they are men and disturbed families. And it is a cause of disturbance in the family. You can see the family of Jacob and also Jacob's relationship with Joseph in the Old Testament. Or you can say, we don't know how far it affected the other brothers, the Pandavas. Whenever we think about the Pandavas, we always say Arjun, Arjun, Arjun. I don't know whether that had any effect or any disturbance, whether it has caused any disturbance in the family. But anyhow, to say like this is, I don't think it is good. My personal opinion, teachers, they are vulnerable people in this regard. They will say, oh, see, so and so is always first, and you are wired like this. Can he not become like that? How can he become like that? It's impossible. Because he has got one genetic code and you have got another genetic code. We can only express that. You are helpless in that. One person is hardworking because he is gifted. The other person is lazy because he is made like that. How can you say a cat should behave like a dog? A dog should behave like a cat. Or a cat should behave like a lion. It's impossible. So is the case with the children. So never, parents, teachers, and servants in the family, please never compare your wards, your children, or your children, compare with other children in the family. In comparison, we can do one thing. See, when your son gets 80% in the first exam, in the second exam he gets only 60%. You can make a comparison there. You can say, my dear, last exam you got 80%. Now today you are only for this exam you are only getting 60%. So his performance you can compare. Don't compare his performance with somebody else's performance. That is the problem. Understand? That is what is going to make a difference. So you can say, this is Visa, no? See, great actors like Visa. See, the performance of Shah Rukh Khan in this film was better than the performance of Shah Rukh Khan in see, in the other film. But how can you compare Shah Rukh Khan with the Salman Khan? It's not possible because both are different. You understand? I hope you follow that. Very important point. Now, then he says, he brings in the Italians who are more democratic in this. See, that is not only children in the family, but even nephews. The Italians make little difference between children and nephews. Italians are notorious for nepotism. That is what in an edition I found this note. In an edition of Bacon's essays, this note has been given. So I don't know about Italians directly, I have never been to Italy, but from reading this note to an edition, I came to know, or the editor has written like this: Italians are notorious for nepotism. I do not know in what context he has written. Now the Italians make little difference between children and nephews, or near kinsfolk, even near relatives. It can be not only cousins and nephews, of course they are very near to the family, but they are distant cousins. So they don't make any difference. Kinsfolk means relatives, relations, but so they be of the lump. All they want to know is whether you belong to this family, whether you have a godfather in this family, whether you are a member of this family. It can be a distant member also. You don't care. Lump, or means this group. But so they are of the lump. They are not, though they pass not their own body. Italians, they don't make any difference between nephews, cousins, or distant relatives and so on. Or whether you bear the name of that clan, that's enough. Or that family, can be distant relative. They don't bother whether they passed through your own body. Your own body means your son or your daughter. My sons and my daughters, they pass through my body. But in this case, not at all they consent. So that means they are more liberal. Understand? They don't compare also. Their habit is they don't compare. They don't compare their own children with nephews or cousins or nieces. Or they don't even compare the members belonging to the distant relatives belonging to that clan or that family. So that is point to be the point that we can also follow. So the basic point is that you should never compare your children with the children of other children of your family. Because that will, at the end, when they grow up, definitely it will cause discord. Discord means disturbance or even quarrel within the family. They will say, no, oh, you loved him, you loved that, you are the third son more than all the others. So now he will look after you. Such kind of statements you may have to hear when you grow old. Isn't it? Yes. And to say truth. In nature, it is much a like matter. In nature also it is like this, he says, as the Italians think, in so much that we see a nephew sometimes resembleth. Resemblance means similarity. Resemblance an uncle or a kinsman, means a relative, more than his own parent, as the blood happens. As the blood happens means nature happens. Nature in the shape, form of in the external shape as well as the internal character. So, and to say truth, in nature you can see it's a much like matter. In so much that some days in a family you will find that a nephew resembles the uncle more than the uncle's own son. Understand? This happens. So why does Bacon bring in this example? Because he says that don't compare. Like the Italians, you be free, more democratic, more liberal in dealing with your relations, in dealing with the members of the family. Because he just says that it happens very often in nature that your own son or your nephew may resemble you more than your own son. That may be the reason why the Italians are democratic and more liberal. So sentence 14 and sentence 15 are about Italians, which can be of course imitated by others also. So the lessons taught by Italians in dealing with the members of the family, not only direct relations but also indirect relations, not only sons and daughters but nephews and nieces and all the members of the clan or family, that can be imitated. It is worth following, he says, because there is absolutely no comparison. And he says in nature it happens very often that your own son, your uncle or your nephew or your sister's son or sister's daughter or brother's son or brother's daughter may sometimes resemble you more than your own son or your own daughter. So you have to consider them as a group. Don't compare. So this is the main point today. We get the second part of the errors of parents, that is comparing and contrasting your own children with other children in the family. It's very dangerous. It can create explosive situations in the family when they grow old. Understand? Sorry. Therefore, please don't do that. Be as liberal as the Italians. Hope that you are following. Bye. Have a nice time.